What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. Just know that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends soon in just about 2.5 weeks. Anyways, Tesla's very resilient right now. We were very, very choppy during the pre-market, but as soon as we opened, we saw this thing rocket to the upside. Tesla's holding up very well, and now we're back above the 400 area. So the question remains, can we hold above this? Now, there was some big news that's come out. This is what's helped Tesla push. We ended up getting the Chinese sales data, at least when it comes to insurance registrations. This data came out a little bit after market open, which helped Tesla push a bit more. And what happened was the Chinese sales were looking quite decent. The insurance registration suggests that they told about 21,900 sales in China for the week of December 2nd through the 8th. That's up 17% from the 18,700 from the previous week. And this is also the second best week of the year for Tesla and the third best ever. So, very, very big news that has come out. This is giving a lot of investors optimism for the next deliveries reports. And I can't wait to see what Tesla ends up announcing. On top of this, there's been more talk about how there was a little bit of weakness in their sales, at least for the month of November. I did see a lot of headlines talking about this, and they're bringing this up because Tesla's trying to offset those numbers with a big push in sales for the end of the year. On top of this, they're looking for more discounts for the Model 3 and Model Ys, which could bring up those sales as well. So that's a good piece of news. Let's see how things end up going. Tesla's also maintaining very, very low interest rates on the loans, at least when it comes to the APRs. I think that this is going to be a lot more bullish for them, especially if they get a very, very strong close for the year and if we see a big surge in sales. So Tesla got this nice push instead of being a little bit lackluster. I mentioned to you all it might get to the mid 390s and to be a little bit careful the closer we get to 400. Instead, we managed to break past that. So it's a little bit more resilient than expected. However, now that's just the first step because the question is, can we maintain this level? We saw Tesla go all the way up to about 408. If we could break that, I'm going to be looking for an attempt to get back up to about 412. And then our supports to watch for is currently around this 404 zone, very close to 404. That's where the previous resistance, which is becoming support, happens to be. If we can't hold above that, I do anticipate we're going to be coming down closer to about 400 flat. So we'll see if Tesla could hold 400 or not. If we don't hold 400, there's going to be a risk of us retesting 393. And if we hold 400, we could continue to just shuffle between 400 and 404. So for now, watch and see if we could hold above 404. Tesla will likely shuffle here for a bit. I think that it's very resilient, so it's going to likely try to maintain the structure above 400. And the longer we hold above 400, the more bullish Tesla becomes because it's going to become a more normalized for it to hold above that area. We're not that far from all-time highs, so I think that it's doing a very, very good job. So let's see if 404 holds. As long as we're above that, we do favor upside. Even if we're above 400, we favor like being in a range. So keep that in mind, okay? If we're below 404 and above 400, we're going to be range trading. If we lose 400, we turn back down to 393 essentially. And as long as we're above 404, we do favor that we want to attempt to try to break the highs again. So it's still looking more resilient. So keep that in mind. Those are going to be your key levels to watch for. Right now, we're above 404. We're holding the support very nicely. So Tesla technically is more bullish. So we'll give this more time to develop. For other factors, we have SPY. So SPY dumped upon open. I was talking about there could be a dip coming. But I want to call out that now we're forming an inverse head and shoulders here. This could be like our left shoulder. This could be our head. Then this dip came right here. We were expecting a small dump. And we came all the way down to 604. That was my first target. Had we lost that 602, would be another possibility, but we haven't lost that yet. So could SPY be trying to turn now? Because this could be forming like a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder. And then that could lead to a little bit of a bounce. So if we manage to break past 605.6, our next target is going to be 600. If that breaks, the next level will be 607 flat. So there is potential for us to try to rebound if that level breaks. For ES, this is also trying to rebound right here. We're going to be watching to see if 6070 holds. As long as we hold that, we could be looking for an attempt to get up to 6080. And if we end up losing 6060, we turn back down. So just like SPY, we have an inverse head and shoulders like structure that is developing a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Now, on the QQQ, there could have been a trap here. So what I was eyeing was a possible head and shoulders. It still is possible that this could be a head and shoulders. This is like a left shoulder here. This is a head, and this is a right shoulder. But at the same time, it could also be a trap. So you never know what they're going to try to pull on this one. That's why I would recommend watching your levels to be safe. So if we lose 521, QQQ is bearish. It's going to be dumping down. There's going to be a big rug pull. As long as we're above 523, this could just continue to stay within this range of the day between just under 526, which is where this imbalance is, and also this resistance. And then our supports once again at 523. So I think that right now we're range bound between 523 and 526. I think the QQQ kind of shuffles between there for now, but we're watching to see as time goes on. Is this going to be a head and shoulders like pattern? Is the market about to get some kind of rejection, or is this a trap and is the QQQ going to try to rebound? Don't forget we have CPI tomorrow, so we'll see what that leads to. We have a very similar pattern on NQ. Is this going to be some kind of head and shoulders, or is it a trap? Are we about to try to push back up towards this resistance? Could go either way. It's very tricky right now, so give this some time. It looks like it's going to be testing 21,600 and 21,650 if that breaks. So it looks a little bit more bullish to me, but we'll see if this is truly going to be a right shoulder or not. I'm going to be a little patient with this and give this some time to develop. For Apple, we are doing a good job at trying to hold above 245. However, 248 is going to be a very, very tough resistance. So 248 is tough resistance, and our support to watch for is going to be at 247 and 245.8. Watch those two supports. There is a chance that Apple dips a little bit closer to about 245.8 again. Otherwise, it's not really that big of a move. For the most part, we're just chopping around, and I do expect that to perpetuate as we get closer to CPI. For the IWM, we hit my target of 236 as we predicted because of this channel right over here. So let's see how well this support holds up. We're at support right here at 236. If that holds up, we could be trying to get back up to 238. Otherwise, this continues to downtrend. So the downtrend is going to likely perpetuate as time goes on. For a coin, we have a double top leg structure and a rejection. We did try to rebound only to come back down. So we came close to 320. I was talking about 322, came a little short of that. Then it came back down to 311, so it's just range bound. So watch this range between 310 and 320. It's going to likely be stuck here, but if 310 fails us, we will be dumping a lot more closer to the lower 300s. So I think this looks a little bit more bearish as we're making lower highs, but we'll have to see if we could continue to hold up. For Nvidia, I think I skipped over Nvidia. I said that this is going to try to base at 137. If we lost it, we would turn bearish. If not, we're going to be looking for a range. For the most parts, I was thinking we'd be stuck between 137 and 140. We're currently at 140 flat, so I still hold that view that this might try to hold. But I do want to call out the possibility of an inverse head and shoulders that could be forming on Nvidia. So after CPI comes out, if we get a bounce, this could make its way back up to like 144 or so, as long as the move continues. So it all depends on CPI, but there is a potential setup forming on Nvidia. For others out there, we have Amazon. This got a bit of a dip. It did dip down to 225 like I was predicting, but then it bounced because we got even more bullish news because Roth MKM has a bullish price target on this, looking for that 230 area. They're expecting 250 a share, so this is what's helping this rebound now. So we're range bound between 230 and 225 essentially, but this could attempt to get closer to 230, showing some resilience. Meta is also holding up. We're seeing some tech stocks holding up. Um, we didn't end up losing 609. We held 612 instead, but we're now in a range between 625 and essentially 616. So I expect 625 to be retested. A little bit more upside could come. Microsoft did make its way up to 450. We did call this out in my morning video. So it's a little bit more decent. Had we lost 440, we would turn more bearish. It's going to be testing some tough resistance at 450 quite soon. And then we also have Google looking bullish. We had some bullish news involving AI. So it looked for 188 exactly as we called out, but our support's at 185. So we'll see if we could hold above this level or not. If 185 fails, let's look for 182.25. But overall, it's still in the green and it's going to likely remain green for the rest of the day. So as far as Tesla goes, we'll see if Tesla could hold above 400 or not. It might retest 400 flat, but we'll see, guys. We'll have to see if it could hold 400. If it does not hold, make sure you watch 394, not to mention 390s are supports near our key EMAs. So we'll see how well Tesla does. Let's just hope it holds above 400. If anything, I do want to say this is a very good sign for Tesla, regardless of if it holds or not. We're getting more and more used to being above 400 because the last time we touched it yesterday, we got a big rejection. This time we're trying to hold it a lot better, so it's gaining some strength. We'll see if this perpetuates or not. But just know that The market looks like it's going to be range bound for the time being, and Tesla, of all things, is holding up very nicely. So we'll see if this ends up being the case or not. Can we hold above 400 for at least the next 4 hours? We'll give this more time to develop. Anyways, for now, Tesla's stuck between 404 as our resistance. That was previous resistance, which was support, but now it's going to become resistance if we do end up holding below it. And then our support's going to be around 400. So let's just see how well we hold above 400. We'll give this more time to develop. Thank you all so much for listening. Tesla is very resilient after some nice Chinese sales have come out, and we'll see what happens moving forward. Thank you for listening, and peace out.